everyone, welcome back to my channel. So before I get into today's story time, I just wanted to make something very clear. On my channel, my goal has always been to inspire, motivate, and provide awareness. I've built this space to uplift small business owners and creatives just like myself, not to tear people down. I really didn't want to post a video like this, to be honest, but that's why today's topic is very disappointing to even address. So recently, a few members of my community reached out to me to let me know that another content creator decided to use their platform to bash my business and my brand. The words they chose to use were copyright slash scammer. Those are extremely offensive labels, and I don't appreciate it at all. What makes it worse is that this creator took a private conversation and used it for views, likes, and profit on their channel. And honestly, you don't need to use negativity to stay relevant. There are better ways to promote your business, honey. I will not be sharing screenshots of our conversation, but if you follow her, you know who I am referring to. If you pause and read it, I was not rude at all, but I will share a screenshot of one of my subscribers, and this person is not the only one that reached out to me. But everyone said the same thing pretty much. The way she handled it was inappropriate and childish. Her putting up screenshots knowing your YouTube thumbnail was very uniform and distinctive, and then try to blur out the logo. Come on, she know what she was doing, and I honestly agree with you. So let's just start from the beginning. So when I started my business, it was just an idea in my head. Just like many of you, I turned to the internet and YouTube and social media for information and inspiration. And I feel like that's where most of us start. So I found a content creator that I thought shared the same values as me and love for cute things. I took inspiration from this person and started my business. When I created my website myself, I started off with Squarespace, and Shopify was recommended to me. So instead of me trying to set up a whole new website from scratch, I reached out to a friend for help with setting up my new website, and they asked if there was anyone that inspired me so they can have something to go off of when creating my website. And I immediately said this person, and I left it at that. I didn't go back and check, which was honestly my fault as a business owner, but juggling 5 kids and life, I just left it as is. I never meant to offend this person at all, so when she reached out to me and expressed her concerns, I immediately changed everything. Although it may be hard to believe, I honestly didn't know about the website issue until she reached out to me. I've never purchased anything from her to know that my website mimicked hers. I may have came off defensive at first because I didn't know what she was talking about. Not every business owner or content creator wants you to take inspiration from them, and that I can understand. So I thanked her for addressing her concerns and made the appropriate changes she requested, and I moved on. So you're not going to believe that this incident actually happened 3 months ago. And since then, I have changed so much about my business that I'm very proud of. Now, just recently, this person decided to make a whole video as though it just happened yesterday. And I quote, "I don't intend to call you out. That's not my intention." And I quote, "I have no hard feelings against you, and I wish you success and happiness." Now, my responses were very respectful and understanding. So for her to say that my responses was one of the worst she's ever gotten really pissed me off. Like, you stated you made this mistake when you first started off, and I bet that person didn't publicly call you out on it. So now I feel like you're trying to piss me off publicly to see how I'm going to react. I have done nothing to trigger this person to do this 3 months later, but hey, here we are. So, how do we come from wishing me happiness and success to bashing me 3 months later is honestly insane and narcissistic behavior. She made it seem like my response was one of the worst she has ever gotten, painting the picture of me as some bad person, which, if you've been following me, is not the case. I unfollowed this person because I didn't like the tone she had. Like, which one is it? Was I apologetic or was I rude? Because you're kind of juggling both. I didn't steal this person's logo, name, art, or design simply because my website had the same return policy and product descriptions was enough to trigger her. We don't even sell the same things. So before anyone say my designs look like hers, I purchased the commercial license to those designs directly from the artist. And I have my receipts. So again, why am I hearing about this now? To be honest, not sure, but maybe to use me as an example or to have people unfollow me. Not sure the motive exactly, but one thing about me is that I'm a fighter. So all I can say is be careful who you look up to or get inspiration from, because the love and support you show may not be the same when the shoe is on the other foot. I did unblock her and send her a long, lengthy message on how I did not appreciate it. and she needs to grow up, but of course, no response. So, what is your goal? To reach out to everyone that takes inspiration from you? So, who has the time? Because I don't. Do you think I have the time to look up every subscriber and stalk their websites and channels? No, ma'am. I have more productive things to do. For you to go on a rant to say I'm not being my authentic self is again wild because I'm very transparent on my channel. If you watch my videos, you would know that. I remember before school even started, like this year, those custom composition books was going viral, and there were like 20 plus people doing the same exact thing. You think they had the time to reach out and express that they can't do the same things that they're doing? No. They kept promoting to their community and kept making sales. You don't own pink, you don't own the fonts, you don't own the layouts, you don't own kawaii style designs, you don't own YouTube thumbnail titles, so what are we even talking about? I even changed up all my branding after this conversation, like literally 24 hours later, because I didn't want my brand to be compared or associated with hers. Like, is Colgate the only brand selling toothpaste, or is Walmart the only store selling groceries? Everything is recycled, recreated, and repurposed. There are so many people out here selling the same cookbook recipes and creating content around the same topics. There is enough room in the world for others to grow. Remember where you came from. You honestly could have used this content to talk about your products, but instead, an old incident is just taking up the space in your precious little mind. Maybe you are upset that people still supported me even after I changed everything. I don't know, but it gives off you want to reopen old wounds and start drama. Your feelings at the same time was 100% valid, but to make a video 3 months later and gaslight your audience like it just happened or is still happening is very upsetting. I mean, you were speaking as though it happened yesterday. Even her community was all on her side, which they should, if they had the whole story and facts, not just snippets of what you wanted to include to make yourself look like you took the high road. Then go on by saying, if I would do this to her, then I would do this to my customers, trying to prevent sales on my website. You have all these followers, honey, and you worried about little old me. Very cute. All right, so let's fast forward to now. So I've been making stationery for quite some time, as you all know, and yet suddenly this person started making notepads and to-do lists. Now, should I call her a copycat, or maybe they were inspired by someone else? Because let's be real, everybody is inspired by someone. The funny part is I don't even follow this person anymore on any of her social media accounts. So why was this video even made? Especially after we had an understanding and I thought we ended on a good note. It feels like the goal was never awareness. It was to get sympathy, to discourage people from supporting me, and honestly, just to be nasty. You feel the need to call someone out all the time, but let's call you out for once. It's always a faceless channel feeling the need to call someone out, quote unquote. So the difference on my channel is that I actually share how to start a business. I provide free information that many creators try to gatekeep. I want you to succeed, not just watch me grow while I'm keeping secrets from you. And my community knows that. But here's the reality. As soon as you step up and start building something of your own, there will always be people ready to insult you, discourage you, and make you feel small. Let me make this known right now. I would never reach out to anyone who takes inspiration from me and bash them. I honestly would be flattered. If I didn't want you all to take from me and use the information that I provide for your own benefit, I would not post it. This incident is why people are so scared to start their business, scared of being judged, scared that their creation looks similar, that people might turn away. I'm thinking this person failed to mention that I redid everything out of respect for her. But of course, when you play victim, you leave those important details out. Here's my point. So, using your platform to bash others and call it awareness, quote unquote, isn't the move. It doesn't make your brand stronger. It doesn't make your content more valuable. On this channel, I choose to lead with inspiration, motivation, and transparency. So, if I can help even one person feel encouraged to chase their dreams and start their business, then I've done my job. Don't let anyone make you feel bad, especially if you apologize wholeheartedly. So at this point in time, I will give it to God as I did 3 months ago. And ma'am, if you are watching this, which I know you are, you just need to find peace and move on and stop bashing others and call it informing. So to my supporters, thank you so much for standing by me. Thank you for seeing through negativity and choosing positivity instead. And to anyone watching who's dealing with similar situations, remember this: people will project their insecurities onto you, but the best clapback is your success. And again, I never want to put negativity out in the air, especially on my channel about someone else, but this really struck a nerve. This is like my boss discussing an issue with me and giving me a warning, and then 3 months later say I had to write you up today on an incident that happened 3 months ago. Like, please make it make sense. Maybe this was a part of a sales tactic to promote your notebooks. I really don't know. I know what you are thinking. Put yourself in her shoes. And I did 3 months ago. That's why I changed everything immediately. So, what more do you want? Honestly, as an adult, I'm the type of person to try and have these kind of conversations face to face. But over text message and social media, we all know trying to explain something over a message, the person that may be reading it are already upset. So they're reading it in a condescending tone. Then it paints the picture that I typed it in a condescending tone. But y'all, I'm not about to give this person any more shine, but talk to me in the comments. Now, I know I was wrong for taking too much inspiration from this person, so don't beat me up too much in the comments. But do you think creators should focus more on uplifting each other instead of competing? Because we are all just trying to make it out here. Some are just upset that they worked harder on something that comes easy to you as well. Some may say things like, it took me 10 years to build this business, and another person it only took them two. That lets you know that everyone's journey is completely different. So just let that sink in for a second. I know this was definitely an earful and a mouthful, but it just needed to be said. We are all adults, so we need to act like it. Stop airing out your dirty laundry, ma'am, in the hopes to get more likes and views. We all have to start somewhere, so give it to God and let it go like I did 3 months ago. So I wanted to share this story as a lesson learned and to let you know that it's not about how you fall, but it's how you get back up. So thank you all so much for listening. I felt like this just needed to be addressed immediately. And as always, keep shining, keep grinding, and don't let negativity dim your light. I'll talk to you guys on my next video.